Hello, guys. Bear with me while I fix my camera here. Ta-da. See, on Facebook, you have time to do all this positioning before we are actually live. But on YouTube, they're like, here, surprise, you're live. Fix the camera after. How are you guys doing? Merry Christmas and almost a Happy New Year, you guys. I am so excited for this new year. It's not even funny. I bet you guys are all feeling the same way, huh? Couple of things I want to remind you of this morning before we get started. I don't know. Well, I'm sure if you're here, a lot of you already know this. I'm a psychic. First of all, let me just say I'm a psychic medium. I communicate with people who've passed away. Today, I'm going to be calling some of my members of the THM Club and passing on messages from Spirit. I will also be pulling tarot cards in between messages here. If you have liked or shared, and I have written your name down, then I'm going to pull a card for you today. But before we do that, you guys, I was woken up this morning at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I didn't know why. I couldn't get back to sleep no matter what I did. I rolled around and I kept hearing Spirit in my head saying, get up, get up, get up, get up. And I wasn't exactly sure what was going on, and just lots of flashes of, I don't know how to explain this. I went through this weird impact of emotions. It was like 1 minute I felt like I was overwhelmed with confusion, and the next minute I was full of clarity and understanding of what's going on in the world, and then it was confusion and clarity, and I felt like I was being pulled back and forth. And then I heard this voice that just said, now you understand what the world is going through. I just want to say this so that I don't get myself kicked off YouTube, because we just got here. But I've heard a lot of people over Christmas and stuff saying, would you guys just put on your masks so that we can be done with this? Would you just do what you're being asked to do so we can be done with this whole nightmare? And a lot of people seem to have this belief, I guess, that if you go along with what's going on, that they'll go away and they'll stop they'll stop dismantling our lives. But see, here's the thing, guys. A year ago, the world would have called that Stockholm Syndrome, right? Because when you are identifying with your captors and you are going along with whatever they are saying in order to get the reward that they're offering you, if you will just do what they tell you to do. I mean, and a lot of people are believing it, which is why I say it's Stockholm Syndrome. I don't know what happened to the world. I don't know why people have that view that if you will just do what they say. Let's see, guys, they've taken away our businesses. They've taken away our families. They had most people, separated for Christmas. They have taken away right after right after right for a virus that is 99.95% survivable. The people that are signing up to do these vaccines in order to make themselves feel better, here's a tidbit. Look up the girl Tiffany Dover. She's one of the nurses that got the shot, passed out on camera, and now there's death reports saying she's dead. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. Look it up for yourselves. Here's the thing, you guys. At some point, you got to wake up and realize that this world is not the world that we thought it was a year ago, right? Or some of us thought it was a year ago. This world that old world is never going to be again the way that it was. It's just not. And the Alzheimer guy, I'm not going to say his name, but we know who he is not going to be president, because what is going on is God is shining a light on the corruption in order to expose it and clear it out. Because if you told the people the truth, they wouldn't believe you. It is a lot easier to fool someone than it is to convince someone they have been fooled. And man, have we been fooled, you guys. I want you guys to do your own research. I don't want to get up here and give you everything that my beliefs of what this is, because we each and all have our own beliefs based on the research that we've done, if you've done any. If you're still listening to your programmers, Now I call it programmers because there's a reason they call it that. They're programs. Our minds, our bodies are the most highly advanced organic computers ever invented. And in order to control us, there has been a lot of knowledges and things in this world that are not true. And there's a lot of knowledge and things coming out that is true, that is going to change the very face of the way that we live our lives. Things like technologies. Anybody that is suffering from cancer or any kind of disease, please go and look up the UV light technologies, because when Donald Trump was telling you a while ago about these kinds of technologies, and the media misinterpreted it to he told you to drink bleach, but really he was trying to show you the technologies that are about to come into this world. But before they can release all this good stuff, they have to get out all the corruption. They have to expose it. You can't change what you don't acknowledge. And it's hard truths for a lot of people. And if your life is just, you're feeling like you just can't understand what the heck is going on, then there's a good chance that you are still believing the programmers. They will have you believe that if you just do what you're told, we will release you. We will give you back your jobs. We will give you back your freedoms. You really believe that if you just do what they tell you to do, that they'll give you back your stuff, guys? Really? We have to stand up as humanity and take our lives back. And whether people want to admit it or not, I know this by the visions that I've been having lately, by the way that my life has transformed over the last 10 years, by the way that God has directly, I didn't know it 10 years ago, but I sure know it now, that every single pitfall I have been through was a lesson in order for me to learn to teach myself to climb out of it. Because once I climbed out of it myself, now here I am teaching you guys how to climb out of it. There is a reason for it. And if we can all stop paying attention to the pain in our lives, to the trauma, to the dysfunction or the chaos, whatever it is challenging us, if we can stop paying attention to the challenge and stop viewing it as the end of the world, or stop viewing it as something that's happening negative to us, and start looking at it as an opportunity to find a solution out of this, that when you find the solution, when you see this challenge and you know, okay, this didn't turn out for me the way that I wanted it to, or this is really hard for me right now and I feel like I can't deal with it. This is where we have to pray. This is all about what the fifth dimension is about. I don't care who you believe in for a higher power. Pray. We all have a higher power, or there is a higher power in this world. And some of us call it that higher power different things. It doesn't matter. As long as you are praying, when you are asking, you are setting out your intention in the universe, you are asking for help when you need it. And if you can get more accustomed to asking for help when you need it and stop bitching about what's going wrong in your world, then you will get more help. You will get what you need. I promise you guys, go search out for the truth. How much more messed up can this world get before you are going to admit that it's not the way that we thought it was, that things are different. The medical profession is not the way that we've been led to believe. These have been tools of control that they've had over our lives, and this is about to change. When you actually start researching UV light, just that one alone should make you so angry. You guys, they're selling UV. You can get them for your phone. Little UV light disinfectors that will completely disinfect your phone and different items like that. And it's in stores and stuff already, but they're not announcing it on the mainstream or anything because, well, because this technology they didn't want out. They didn't want us knowing about it. They certainly don't want you knowing that there is a way to do the UV light. I don't know all the technicalities on that, but I know I saw some videos around it when Trump made that statement a while back. There are ways to do that, the UV light that goes in the IV and completely disinfects the blood inside. I'm not a doctor. I don't have the technical language to describe it, but I know it exists. And I know that the way that we live our lives is about to transform. So stop being afraid, you guys. Start getting Start getting excited and start focusing on what you want, because I promise there is more joy coming into this world than you can even imagine. It is not the end of the world. You know what? I just want to leave you with this, and then I'm going to make some calls, because this, and God's screaming it in my ear right now. He said it's Moses. I see, here's the thing. If you're in it, then you're seeing things. It's like being in a corn maze, okay? If you can take your consciousness and lift it up just a little bit and look down, then you can kind of see what's going on. See, we've been living in a debt slave society, right? They have had control over us because they've had us working, and being in a debt slave society has us too busy to focus on the truth, finding the truth, right? Now, when I did some meditation and I took a lot of time to rest and relax this weekend, I saw the Moses story playing out. I see Donald Trump like Moses saying, set my people free. I want my people free. And these are like, no, you'll never be free. We will throw hurricanes at you. We will throw debt at you. We will throw poverty at you, riots and looting and take away your businesses. And there is this battle going on that just reminds me of the Moses story, and you got locusts going on in the world, and you got fireballs going down in China, and all of this stuff going on around the world. And I'm telling you guys, to me, it parodies the Moses story. And that gives me hope, because we all know that Moses won, right? God got his people out of Egypt, and they were no longer slaves. Only this time, I don't think it's going to take 40 years in a desert for us to accomplish that. So keep your eyes and ears open, you guys, because the world as we know it is about to change. And there's a lot of revelations that are about to come to light that are really going to be hard for people to accept. So again, I encourage you to do your research, start looking things up if you haven't already, and start tuning into the positive. You've got to understand that, yes, the dead are still here. They're in energetic form, and there are angels around. There are beings in different vibrational dimensions that can see and interact with us, but we can't see and see them with our physical eyes. But if those light forces are here, that means that there is dark forces as well, and they're going to try to trip you up. They've been trying to trip me up my whole life. They have access to the whole time frame continuum, right? They know that I was going to be up here speaking to you guys at some point, so they have tried to trip me up my whole life. How many of you can identify with that? And the thing you got to understand is that here's the thing about those beings, you guys. They're trapped in that corn maze. They don't have a pineal gland. They don't have a third eye to be up into their consciousness. They cannot raise their vibration, their consciousness high enough to see the big picture. We can, which means we can always see above them. We can always find an answer to whatever problem or challenge they throw at us. God wins every time. But if you take that challenge or that whatever it is that those dark forces throw your way to try to knock you off your horse, if you take that and you bear down that and you put all your focus on that and your frustration on that, guess what? They win. There is nothing to fear but fear itself. Right? We've all heard that one before. And when you literally are not afraid anymore, and you can look at the situation like, okay, well, that's disappointing or that's challenging, but I know you've got a way. I know you've got something better for me. And when you can approach it in that way, oh, you guys, the blessings and miracles that come in your life are beyond spectacular. So I encourage all of you to not get frustrated by the minor irritants in your world right now, to remember this too shall pass, to remember that there are far more light forces in this world than there are dark forces. You are loved beyond what you could ever understand. And just so you know, you were all born here, or born at this time in the world, for a reason. You're the toughest of the tough. You're the people that were supposed to be here during this time, at this this moment in Earth. Each and every single one of you are the souls that we needed. So it's the most incredible time to be alive in human history. And it makes me wonder, I said this to my sister this weekend, I said, do you know, I wonder if the people in Jesus's time actually knew that they were living in a biblical, historical moment. I bet you if you go back and live there, a lot of people didn't even realize what they were living in when they were living in it. you know? And I see that going on all over the place here. I know this is biblical because I'm dreaming it, I'm feeling it, I'm seeing my life wrapped around it for the last 20 years in ways that are truly hard to even express or get through. So, but it's miraculous and beautiful. So just get excited, you guys. All right, here we go. All that being said, Cheryl, I am coming to you first. So I have a member that shared her membership with her mom. So here we go. Hopefully my volume's turned up. There we go.
Hello?
Hello, is this Cheryl?
It is. Hi, Tracy.
Hi, Cheryl. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good. Okay, so Chloe gifted you her live reading today. Is your heart just a beating? Because I feel like I just about threw up there. I got a wave of nausea.
Yeah.
Okay, felt that. Breathe. I promise I don't bite.
Okay.
Okay. Interesting. You got people showing up. We haven't even done the connecting exercise yet. I don't know who they are, but let's do this, okay? Okay, so I like to start with a connecting exercise. So what I want you to do is I want you to sit with both feet flat on the floor for me.
Okay.
And then I want you to close your eyes and I want you to take a deep breath, picturing that deep breath starting at your big toe, slowly pulling it all the way up through your body, and then blow it straight through the phone at me and give me a minute to focus. Okay, Cheryl, I call this beginning part the puzzle dump because when you do that connecting exercise, what happens for me is it's kind of like when you dump out a puzzle because there's this huge rush of information, but it comes at me so fast. I'm not exactly sure what it all means. So it's kind of like when you're building a puzzle, you have to kind of organize all the pieces to see how they fit together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to describe for you everything that I'm picking up, and then we will go back and figure out how that fits together, okay?
Okay.
Right away, so even before we did the connecting exercise, I could feel the father figure presence and hands, which is my symbol for father figure, or somebody who's on dad's side of the family. He definitely goes above you and comes forward with a huge amount of nurturing and love, which is, he's emphasizing that. So men are not usually as nurturing as women. So this either means extraordinarily close with him. I'm not sure exactly what this means yet. There's two people that step forward holding hands. That's my symbol that they were married or together here in the physical. And again, they're going one above. I don't know if this is dad or grandfather. So this dad, is your dad on the other side, hun?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought so. And both his parents are on the other side?
Yes.
Interesting. So that's exactly how they come through. Your dad was the first one here, and he's so excited to have this opportunity to speak to you. He keeps showing, he's not so much emphasizing how he passed yet. He's showing me time lapse, which is my symbol for watching somebody grow and change on the other side. So has he been there for some time?
6 years.
Oh, he's watching see, when you say that, I just see the kids and I see a number of kids and he's showing me time lapse and showing me how he's watching them grow on the other side. He hasn't missed a single beat. Then he shows me, okay, so now he's validating. He's showing me the body scan, which is my symbol for more than one issue in the body or pain throughout the body. And I just feel like I can't get a deep breath. Slow this down. And then he snaps. Well, hold on. Then he takes me to the head, which is my symbol for, I do feel a little bit of confusion or disorientation, which is my symbol for an inability to communicate at the end, or dementia, Alzheimer's, stroke, aneurysm, something like that. Or
yeah.
And
yeah.
sorry?
You're right. Yes.
But then he goes, snap. And so that tells me that he passed suddenly or unexpectedly. And what that means, because he is showing me, like I said, the body scan. So there was some issues going on for some time. And the head thing was going on for a while, I think. But when he passed, we weren't expecting him to pass when he did. Do you understand that?
Yeah. Yeah.
He needs you to know he's okay. That were you very close with your dad? Because here's the thing. He is overemphasizing how much he loves you. He is saying, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. And he's overemphasizing that. And usually spirit only does that for one of two reasons. Either that's exactly who they are and that's their personality here in the physical world, or they didn't say it enough. And they know that now on the other side. And when I said that, I got goosebumps. It's the second one, isn't it?
No, I knew all the time that he loved me so much.
It's, you know why it felt like the second one? Because at the end, he wasn't able to say it, right? That's why he kept taking me to the confusion, or he wasn't able to say it the way that he wanted to say it. Slow this down.
Yeah, I let them let him pass at the hospital. And I was like very sure he wanted it. But
yes,
after he passed, I thought maybe he would like a few more days or the chance to talk to a few more people.
Oh, honey.
And I just wasn't sure.
All I can feel while you're saying that is he's showing me my sign for thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And that's why, see, I never understood. You got to understand that this is your life, not mine. They're talking to you, not me. So I try to put the pieces together the best I can. But this is why I tell people that you've got to help me out here because they're talking to you. And when you validate it that way, I understand perfectly what he's trying to say. That's why he's like, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. And that's why it feels like he's very much trying to get that through, that he couldn't say that when he was right before he passed. He couldn't give you that clarity and that gratitude of it's okay to let me go. And that also explains to me why he comes forward with both his parents, because you need to understand they were both on the other side before he passed.
Yeah.
Because they both stepped forward to greet his soul. There was not a single moment was alone. Please know that. And
someone was there when he passed, and I thought it was his cousin. I was waiting for my mom because he said my mom would be there. And I stayed with him when he passed, and there was someone there, but it wasn't my mom. It was a big man, and I don't know. I think it was his cousin.
Interesting. Now these are all dead people you're talking about, right? Because see, what happens for me is as soon as you start talking about people that are on the other side, they start stepping forward. So as soon as you said, I thought it was going to be my mom, she's like over here. She's like, hello. And I smell cigarette smoke around her. Did she smoke?
Yeah. We were told that she died from smoking.
Because she's still smoking on the other side, hon. Just saying. See, Spirit will bring forward the details that will help you validate who they are. Okay. She's okay over there. He's like, listen, you can't kill me twice. I'm good. I'm smoking. I'm happy. She's like, listen, if I wasn't smoking, then you wouldn't know I was happy. I was happiest when I was smoking. I was unhappy when they tried to take him away from me. Okay. But then somebody's quit since she passed. This is interesting. Your dad's like, thanks a lot. I'm never going to get a word in edgewise now because your mom's stepping forward. She's showing me somebody quit smoking and my symbol for pride. Was this you?
No, I never smoked.
Somebody in the family quit smoking because the first thing she did is, oh, yeah, I'm smoking. But you know what? I know how deadly it is here in the physical world. And I know that somebody quit after I passed. Feels like a male, to be honest with you.
Okay, I'm not sure. There were a lot of people. She passed when I was 5.
Oh, honey, I'm sorry.
Me too.
And this also explains to me why I was okay. See, here's the thing. I understand now completely why your dad is showing me time lapse. Because it's not just your dad, it's your mom is standing right there with him. And she's the one that's showing me time lapse and showing me watching over you since you were a little girl. time lapse is where we watch over somebody's life, usually for a lot longer than 6 years. So yes, I see, and you don't have as much grief around dad's passing as you do around mom's because it's been so long, right?
Yeah.
Your mom is talking about she loves the picture. I don't know what this means. You have a picture of her, and it feels like it was updated, changed, moved. I don't know what this means.
Yeah, there's one.
Do you know
There's
what you know what she's talking about?
Well, I think so. I'm not sure.
Well, it was either updated, changed, or moved.
Yeah, well, I edited one of her with my grandmother.
There you go.
I didn't think they got along.
Oh, see? And this is what I'm talking about. She's not talking to me. She's talking to you. So she's giving you the details that you'll know what she's talking about. So by her saying, thank you for the photo, you know, the one that you edited and stuff. See, that's her way to let you know that she knows. Because there's no way I would know that. There's absolutely no way.
Yeah.
And you said that they didn't get along so much. That's your dad's mom?
Yeah.
Because I see the heart going around the two of them, just so you know. And did your grandmother smoke as well?
Oh, yeah.
Because I can see the two of them. Oh, trust me, they found peace on the other side. They're driving the boys nuts with all that cigarette smoke up there. They're like, we've got healing now. We are so together. We're smoking these boys out over here. You know what?
I never knew him. He's there too?
He saluted when you said that. Did he have a connection to the uniform? Police, fire, ambulance, military, something like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was a fireman.
There you go. So he's absolutely there with her. They're all there watching over you right now. They said that they needed you to know, and he sent me an email and honestly a message before this, and I don't remember what any of the message said really, because I kind of skimmed through it, especially if somebody's messaging me about getting a reading. I don't read the details. I try not to because it makes it harder for me. But what I do remember that you wrote on there is you've been seeing 2002, right? Or 0
8 and 2 and 2 and 8, but it's just I don't even think that's me. I don't know what it is.
It is for you. Numbers have meaning. Numbers have meaning, and it is the universe's way of talking to us. So by you saying 8 and 2, that tells me, so 8 is the number of abundance, infinity. That is also the number of the divine. That's God's number. That is the universe's number. At what I feel from that, and 2 is the number of partnership and togetherness, like two people. Do you know what I mean? Cooperativeness, cooperation, collaboration, that kind of stuff. What I'm getting from that is that if you've been seeing a lot of 8 and 2, that tells me that you're probably feeling a little bit alone and separated recently. And the universe is trying to send you some signs to say, listen, you are all connected. We are all connected here, collaborating. And that your loved ones all on the other side, which you have an enormous amount of, are all trying to let you know that they are not dead. I spend a huge amount of my time trying to tell people this. They're not dead. They are still here with you. They just don't have a physical body anymore. So you have to learn to communicate in their language. They speak synchronicity and coincidence, which means cooperative, universal incidences. Cooperative incidences is the language of spirit. They are in energy form, vibrational form. So when they are sending you numbers, that's an answer to a prayer. Be very mindful of what you're asking the universe, because if you're not mindful of what you're asking for, then you're not going to understand the answer when you get it, right? And if you do, and if you put out too many questions at once, then you don't understand which answer this is for. So this is a reminder. All your loved ones have gotten you here today, which is interesting because they're making me feel like, first of all, they just kissed Chloe's cheek and said, thank you, because I feel like she's been trying to get you here. I don't know if that's true, but I feel like she's been trying to get you here. Because, see, they need you to know they're not gone. And your mom especially says, you know what? We've spent our whole life with you thinking I'm dead. And I've been right here beside you this whole time, loving you, guiding you, watching over you. And all she wants to do is for you to understand her language so that you can continue to speak, so that you can continue to have that connection with her. And you can understand that she's not gone. She can see things from an even higher perspective than you can, so she can help guide you to where you want to go. But you have to think of her in kind of like a GPS. So I tell people this all the time. When we pray and we're talking to our loved ones, we tend to say to them, please tell me what to do, right? And unfortunately, it's hard for us to get an answer when we do that, because God gave us free will here in this physical world, which means we decide, we choose. That's why I say it's like a GPS, because if you put into your GPS and you say, tell me which grocery store to go to, is your GPS going to say, oh, you should go to Walmart? No, it's going to give you a list of the nearest grocery stores and say, you choose, right?
Right.
So if you put into your GPS and you say, tell me how to get to Walmart, it's going to draw you a line and give you voice instructions along the way. It'll take you right there. And the dead are the same. That's their only way for us to know that they're there and for them to communicate with us. So when we say, hey, Mom, I need a new car. I want it to be red and cheap and new. Then guess what? You just line up with some 50% off deal that you never should have come across. You just happen to be in the right place at the right time. That is synchronicity and cooperative universal incidences. That is spirit bringing you to exactly what you asked them for, so that you know they are still here.
Okay.
Please know your mom is not gone. She loves you so much. She's so proud of you. And here's the thing. She said, just so you know, hon, she said, I've been watching over you a long time. And she said, you are a great mom. And then she said, say that at 50 million times, Tracy, because she's not thinking that right now. I'm not sure why you're beating up on yourself. But your mom is talking about hearing your thoughts, because the dead can hear our thoughts and feel our vibration. And I think it's just that you've had a lot of grief and tragedy in a short amount of time, in a few years here. And so, and because of what's going on with your daughter, as a mom, we tend to take that on ourselves and kind of blame ourselves, right? But your mom is like, listen, you have been an outstanding mom. She is so proud of you. She's showing that you have more parenting ability in your pinky finger than most women do in their whole body, and that she is extraordinarily proud of you. But it's time to snap out of it, she says. You have to remember that you're a good mom, because you can't help them if you are in sad mom mode, right? Slow this down.
Okay.
It's almost like you're afraid to be strict, because I don't know what this is. I don't know if this is with Chloe, or because you have more than one child. Do you have 3?
2. And then 3 grandchildren.
Okay.
But I have my brother, who I love. I have 2 brothers, but one needs help.
There's the person that they're talking about right there. That you're afraid to be honest with this person because you don't want to lose someone else. You don't want him to pull himself out of your world, right?
Yeah.
But you have to understand that God's got this. You got to remember that we're not alone here in the physical world. And you have an enormous amount of family on that side. And they're trying to give you reassurance that he's going to be okay. They might have to guide him to his darkest hour so that he will be inspired to ask for help. Do you understand?
Yeah.
But
yeah, he's asked for lots of help, but not the right time.
Pardon me?
He asked for help, but it's not the right time. And I've just kind of let him do him. And
Yes.
I feel like I've left him totally alone.
No, you can't help him by getting down in the mud and being dirty with him. You can't help him that way. The way that you can help him is by showing him what's possible, right? by showing him that you can be happy and healthy and productive and functional and abundant and joyful in this world. And you don't have to be negative like that. You can't get down in the mud enough with him to clean him up. Do you know what I mean? You have to show the example for him to follow. And now that doesn't mean that you turn your back on him totally. I call this loving from a distance because I have family members in the same boat. And that means that, you send them a basket on Christmas, or you talk to them here and there, and you let them know that you love them and whatnot, but you keep your distance to a certain extent. You don't invite them over every weekend. We don't immerse our lives together, right? You have to protect your heart first, because when you protect your heart and you make sure that you fill yourself up with everything that is good in your life and it raises your vibration, then your cup spilleth over, right? You've heard that saying. You understand what that means? And when your cup spilleth over, it spills onto every single person around you. That goodness just flows out to everybody. If you get down in the mud with him and you allow him into your world to bring all of that negative vibration into your world, it lowers your vibration and it depletes your cup. And then there is nothing to spill over. You can't help him that way. Just trust that God's got this. You're not alone in this. Your mom's there, your dad's there, all their parents are there. There's so many people on that other side that are watching over him. And it's interesting. I feel that's why you got through today, is they need you to know they're not dead. They're still with him, helping to guide him towards what he needs in this world. But they can't guide him there if people in his life are still enabling him by bending their lives to meet him where he wants them to meet them, right? It feels like we're talking about addiction here or something in that realm, either substance or in another way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So just know that your loved ones got this. They know what's going on. And just so you know, I feel like he might have another pitfall first, but I do see him bouncing back. And he'll bounce back quicker if he knows that people are waiting to embrace him in a new vibration. But we're not going to embrace him in that negative vibration. It's like when your 2-year-old's having a temper tantrum. You don't give them the sucker, right?
Right.
You wait until they are doing something amazing, and then you go, here you go, and you give them the reward. When you see your brother doing something that is positive and in his best interest, praise the heck out of him. Send him love, but just from a distance. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And deep breaths. This is going to be an incredible year. I want you to start talking to your loved ones, and especially your mom. She is so excited to let you know that she's here and that she's never left you. She keeps showing me the rose, which is my symbol for birthday, anniversary, or something that happens once a year. And I feel like it's coming up. I keep going to like February or the spring. What's February, March?
No, she passed in early January, but I don't celebrate that. My dad did. I mean, we don't forget it, but I don't celebrate it. Because I don't want to celebrate the day that she passed.
No,
it's really hard for everyone.
Yeah, one of the first things the dead told me when I first started passing on messages from spirit was, please don't remember the day that I died, because it just produces mourning and it lowers your vibration. They want you to remember the day that they were born and celebrate their life in this world, because it produces a higher vibration.
Okay.
No, she's still taking me to February. Sorry. This is what I love about spirit. If we don't nail it exactly, they'll be like, yeah, okay, we'll go with that. Here's an explanation for that. But this is what I was talking about. So again, she's taking me to February. I feel like, are you married or in a relationship?
Not right now, but the only thing in February was I was supposed to have a baby. And I lost it.
Recently?
Yeah. And she was there and with someone else, and they said it was Mother's Day, and I was walking in the woods, and I saw I just saw little children, and I got really excited, and I felt their hand on my to say, enjoy today, because what you just saw is not going to happen in the way that you hope. And I knew exactly at that moment that I wasn't going in, and then I lost the baby.
Well, let me tell you, your mom just kissed your cheek and she said, she dried your tears and she said, listen, I want you to go back and watch the beginning of this video. Were you watching since the very beginning? You're probably not even watching at all. I'm sorry.
I'm not on a video.
That's okay.
What did you video call me? I didn't know.
Oh, no. We're on YouTube right now. So it's so other people are listening. They have no idea who you are. You're just a name on a phone, right? But at the beginning of this video, at the beginning of this broadcast, I was talking about focusing on the positive in your world, focusing on where you want to go, and not what is challenging you or the pain in our lives. We are so conditioned and programmed to focus on the challenges and the pain. And all that does is whatever you think and feel about produces the reality that you get. So if you think and feel that loss, you're baking in it, and it's like magnetic. So you're pulling more loss into your world. So what your mom is saying is this is about breaking the habit of negative thought and embracing the habit of not just the habit, but the idea. Two ideas. One, you're not dead. They're here. They're just in vibrational form, and you have to learn to speak their language. And two, that they will help you go wherever you want to go. But the way that you get there is by directing your consciousness. It's like a car. If you spin your wheel backwards, where are you going to go? Backwards. Your consciousness, where you direct your consciousness, is where you go. So don't think about the challenges in the past. Think about the future, where you want to go. And I'll tell you something. She's holding up this child, and she said, you know what? I feel a couple of things with this child. I feel like this child came into your world to ignite the desire for you to have a child, because I don't feel like this was planned. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
And that now that you have that desire, you need to kind of clean your house up a little bit. Now, I don't mean physically clean the house, but you know what I mean. Get things organized and prepared to be bringing a baby in this world. Now, if that means that you need to be in a stable relationship first, then start focusing on the stable relationship. Start talking to your mom, your dad, your loved ones, telling them what you want, looking for the signs and symbols, or as I call them, breadcrumbs, and getting excited that you are on your way to the most amazing and incredible life ever. Because I do see that coming up. I keep getting like 1 year, something about this, that there is a new relationship coming in your world, and there will be a child coming into your world, but that child can't come in the vibration of negativity that you are putting out right now. Do you understand that? You're not in a receiving mode. If you want to be in a receiving mode for what you're asking for, you have to raise your vibration up to the point that you believe that it's possible to get what you're asking for. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And again, your mom is like showing me love. She's like, you're single right now, so there's separation right now.
Yeah.
This is for your benefit. Because he was not treating you the way that you deserve to be treated.
No.
So
he wasn't bad, but no, you're right. It's the first time I've ever stood up for myself.
Exactly. And this is what is important. This is what's going on. You got to understand that there is nothing bad going on in your life. Your mom is so proud of you, just so you know. Your dad, he's like, Dad too. They are so proud of you, just so you know. But stop beating yourself up for not being perfect and not being in the perfect life already, and start understanding the concept that you're on your way to where you want to go. But you can't get there instantaneously. You have to get on the plane, and you have to do the 20-hour plane ride to get to the destination that you want to go. But when you get on that plane, you don't sit there and sulk because it's going to take 20 hours to get there, right? You get excited. You got to get excited knowing that you are headed towards an incredible destination. You got to think about that destination more than you think about the challenges of the past. You got to be so focused on the type of guy that you want in your world, the type of man that will treat you the way that you deserve to be treated, and line yourself up with that person. And then I'm telling you, I'm seeing not just one, but possibly two children coming back into your world. And then your mom's like, she's cray. She's laughing. Sorry. She's teasing you because you have some adult children already, because you started young like me, right? I'm in the same boat. I have 17 years between my oldest and my youngest. And so she pointed at me and then you, and she goes, she's like you, cray. You want to do this all over again? But that's okay, because if you can get locked in on where you want to go, start directing your car on where you want to go, then you will stop going through pitfalls of pain. If you always do what you have always done, you will always get what you've always got.
But I have to take care of my family. They need me a lot.
You know what? The way you take care of your family is by loving their mom, by loving yourself, and by treating yourself with respect and love, and making sure that you are so happy that your cup runneth over, because you have nothing to give your kids unless your cup runneth over. You can't teach them to love themselves if you don't love yourself. You can't, kids don't do what we tell them to do. They do what we do, right? So the best thing that you can ever do for your kids is learn to love yourself and learn how to make your life so happy that every single person that touches your life is better off for it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Just know that they're there with you. They're starting to pull their energy back. Your mom just kissed your cheek and she's like, oh, we'll talk again. That's interesting. Okay. She has full plans on communicating again. And then she just keeps going, nice slippers. Weird. What's with the slippers?
No idea.
Do you have slippers?
I have, well, yeah.
There's something, like, I feel like it's bunny slippers or weird slippers, or like, I don't know what this is. She's teasing about the slippers, so it's got to be something.
Okay. I'm going to check. I don't know.
That's very weird. Was somebody just, it's very specific. So was somebody just wearing, like, I know they have like slippers with like people's heads on them, or do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But the only thing I can think of is slippers. My granddaughter, she doesn't get upset about anything, and then she found her dad's slippers, and she needed to protect them because they were his, and he's passed.
Yes,
So
there we
I
go.
told her she could just go and put them in a safe place, and I have no idea where she put them. But
there we go.
They're very safe.
So you know what? That would be him stepping forward and saying thank you. And just so you know, he didn't have a lot to say here, because I think he really wanted you to connect with your parents. But trust me, I feel like this is your son as much as it is. So people who are watching are probably confused. So your daughter lost her fiance while she was pregnant with your grandson. And I don't remember his name. I'm sorry. Kyle.
That's okay.
No, that's somebody else. There we go. I'm laughing because he's trying to like raise your vibration here. And he calls you mom, though, just so you know. He says mom. Did he call you that in the physical world?
No. She wouldn't let us get together because we shared too many of the same opinions. So I didn't know him very well at all, and I just want to tell that story because I'm so mad at him, and I don't want to be because I know he was a good person.
You have every right to be mad at him, and don't push those feelings down. You need to tell him, write it down. See, if you keep trying to push those feelings down and telling yourself you don't have the right to feel them, then they're going to explode. The top's going to pop off that pot and it's just going to explode. Write it down. Write down everything that you're feeling to him and let him have it, because he did make a really bad mistake. He made a really stupid mistake. And he absolutely knows that he screwed up big time. And for everybody to pretend, think about it. Have you ever done something wrong and it's so big and nobody even talks about it, and your head goes crazy wondering what they must be thinking because nobody's saying anything, and you're like, I wish somebody would just say something because they're making me so uncomfortable by not saying anything. Do you know what I mean?
I'm usually the person that says it out loud.
Exactly. That's why you need to do that now. Get it out. Say your piece. You know what? He's like, I deserve it. Or through a pen or through visualization or some way to get that energy out of your body. He doesn't want that either. So get it out and know that he keeps calling you mom because to him, he's like, you know what? Now I have two moms. He loves you so much, especially because you moved in with Chloe, didn't you?
Yeah.
And he's like so grateful for that. Slow this down. Not just that, but he's making me feel like you've been so supportive of her healing, even though I don't know what that means. He's like,
we used to fight out loud a lot, and he was very quiet, and he would not fight out loud, even though we all knew he had things to say. He used to bite his tongue, and it was perhaps a better way to handle things. And when I first moved in with Chloe, I could just hear him say, shush, and then I would, and it would just, the moment of anger would pass, and we got closer. So, and she was doing the same, and we would look at each other and just
in awe.
just say, he's telling us stop.
You know, that is, I just want to point out what you're doing there. What you're describing right now is people don't understand that their brains are a receiver. So when you have that thought that just comes out of nowhere and goes shh, and you're able to calm yourself, you're literally hearing spirit. Proof he's not gone. Do you understand?
I do. When Chloe called me and said that he passed away, I was a little bit in shock, and then she called me back and tried to tell me what she thought had happened to him, and I was in the car driving towards her. I was far away, and he was behind me saying, it wasn't my fault, but I know you're not going to believe me.
Do you see, even as you're talking, I'm hearing you communicating with spirit in a natural way that tells me that you have more of an ability than you have admitted to people. And here's the thing. If you can get focused on where you're going and get those negative vibrations out of your awareness and be immersed in the positive vibrations, your cup is going to spilleth over to the point that you're going to start understanding the language of spirit. And if you start understanding that language of spirit, guess what happens? You can start helping people. So sometimes those of us who have had the roughest past is for the most beautiful reason in the world. It's because we need that training. We need to figure out how to heal ourselves and pull ourselves up and move forward so that we can help everybody else. When you get yourself clear and you start getting connected and sure and clear of those messages you're picking up, then you can start helping the rest of your family with understanding their own abilities to do the same thing. So again, it boils down to you helping yourself helps everyone else in your family. But I got to let them pull their energy back here, hon. I have some more people on my list for today, but I do hope that was helpful.
It really was. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. You have a great rest of your day, okay?
I really will. Thank you.
Okay, hon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, thank you guys for your patience. I know that I took a little longer on that call, but some people have just experienced so much pain, and my heart just goes out to people. And even on these live readings, I do what Spirit tells me. And if they tell me to keep somebody on the phone for 20, 40 minutes, then I do. Okay, but I'm going to pull a card here. I'm going to pull a card. Okay. I'm just going to go to the first one. Kim Paul liked and shared. Love you, hun. I love you too, Kim. I love you too. Okay, here we go. I don't know what your question is. Make sure you have your question. Spirit, what answer, clarity, or wisdom can you give Kim for her question? What answers, clarity, insight, or wisdom can you give? Woo! Kim? They're flying all over the place. And most of them are sideways. Oh, goodness, girl. What did you ask? They're all sideways, which means that I can't even answer them. Try this again. Kim, what is Spirit? What is the answer to Kim's question? Give us an answer. There we go. Well, that one. See how much they're popping, right? Well, this explains why they're popping like that and why they are so many of them, because Spirit is having a hard time trying to break it down to one card. So, and my other cards, you guys, I'm sorry I couldn't find them after the Christmas disaster in this house. So this ones are a little harder to see. But this is the Moon card. It's harder to see, but it basically indicates fear. It means you're walking on a path. You can't see the whole path. So you have some fear about what's coming up for you, but you have no choice. You have to keep walking on this path. I want to read the definition in my download book here just to see if anything jumps out at me. But yeah, feeling like you're in the dark. Again, there's a fear, feeling like we don't have all the information, feeling pulled or having dreams and nightmares, fantasies, illusions, things that are unseen. This just seems like you're 2020 stuck, Kim. Correct me if I'm wrong. 2020 stuck. Here's the thing. You and I are old friends, so I'm just going to say this real quick before I go on to my caller. You and I are old friends. We haven't talked in a while, but I do see your Facebook posts and stuff, and you have been plugged in to the programmers, my dear. And you guys might think that these shows and things that they're telling you are very harmless. But what you're going to find is that the ideas and the controls that they have used to make us limited and controlled, they're in those shows. All the messages are in those shows. What did you say? Oh, you didn't. I thought you responded to what your question was, but you didn't. But that's okay. So you will find a lot more clarity. The Moon card usually indicates that you need some clarity, and you're not going to find it if you're focusing on the programming. So I was definitely guilty of this even a few years ago. My idea of a good time was tuning out the world, putting on my favorite show, and just tuning my brain out. But you know what? You know what? Now that I understand the truth, once you can't untruth, you guys, you can't unlearn this knowledge. And once you see it, once you understand that language, you see it everywhere, in every show, in every news broadcast. I can't even watch it anymore. I watch the things that fill my life with the feeling of positivity, nurturing, growth, value, knowledge, those kinds of things. And I don't really watch the brain numbing stuff anymore. I don't let that be my idea of a good time, because what we can create in our world is so much better than what they put out there. And if you are spending your time filling your mind with the truth, then that feeling of not having all of the information, of not knowing what's to come, that goes away. The reality is that you're not going to feel fear in 2020 if you understand what's really going on. You only feel that fear when you don't understand. And if you are locked into these programs, then you're not filling your mind with the information that will help you understand. So I don't know if that helped or not, but okay, where'd my phone? Everything's black. I can't even find my phone. Okay, so next I am going to Tanya. Here we go. Hi, is this Tanya?
Hi.
Hi, Tanya. It's Tracy.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Tanya, your energy. Awesome. I just want to say, you've been a member for a year now, and I can feel a distinct elevation in your energy.
Yeah.
Interesting. All you said was hello, and it's from before was hello, and now is like hello. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can feel it.
I've done quite a bit of energy cleansings.
Well, let me tell you, I can feel that. Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
The boys are here. Sorry, we haven't even started yet, and on the other side, and he has a cousin or something that's around the same age, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, because they're right here, both of them together, and they're singing that song, The Boys Are Back in Town, in my head. Okay, let's do this. Close your eyes. I want you to take a deep breath, picturing that deep breath starting at your big toe, slowly pulling it all the way up through your body, and then blow it straight through the phone at me and give me a minute to focus. Interesting. Okay, Tanya, you have a lot of family coming forward, more than what I think is normal, or more than you normally do. I'm seeing, interesting. So I'm going up. Okay, slow down, you guys, slow down. Give me a second here. This is the puzzle dump. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Two people stepping forward, holding hands. That's my symbol that they were married or together here in the physical world. I do hear daddy's hands, so I think that's on dad's side. They go one above, so this is either grandparents or great-grandparents. They step forward with the father figure that's there, but he goes to the side, so this could mean uncle as well. Then I see them there with your son and the cousin. Then I see on mom's side, slow this down, there's... Interesting. Is one of mom's parents still alive, hun?
No.
Okay, so
like my mother-in-law, because I was closer to my mother-in-law than I was to my own mom.
There we go. Because
and her spouse is still here. Yes.
Okay, because she's putting the white blanket around the person that's still here, the parent, the father, or the parent figure that's still here. The white blanket is my symbol for watching somebody that has health or stress issues.
Yeah.
They're all coming forward. Hold on a second. So here we go. And they're talking very quickly. So they're kind of pushing your son back a bit. They wanted you to know he's here, but I feel like this is your mother-in-law, very much so. Yeah. She is being very bossy today. It's interesting because, like I said, I'm not very familiar with her energy. She hasn't come through a huge amount, hey?
Yeah.
But she's coming through today because I'll tell you, I feel huge gratitude from her. Huge gratitude. She's thanking you for your courage because here's the thing. I know that you and your husband just went through are going through a separation or whatnot. But here's the thing. You guys did so much work around the separation. You guys, your mother-in-law is pinning a medal on you. She's like, you know what? They should be telling everybody how to do this because you are an example to other people on how to do this. You are separating as friends, correct?
Yeah.
She's so extraordinarily proud of you for this. A lot of courage. It was really scary. But when you guys did this, do you feel the difference in your energy now because you're not being that load anymore? And you have to understand that he's free. The way it feels to me is almost like you needed something from him that he couldn't give. And now you're free to find somebody who can give you that. And he's free from carrying that burden of not being able to give it to you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, a little.
Just know your mother-in-law is so proud of you. She doesn't want me to call you her mother-in-law, just so you know. She's like, don't say that. I'm mom. Like, her mom's still here, I'm pretty sure. Your mom's still alive, right?
Yeah, it actually got him into therapy.
You got your husband into therapy?
Yeah, because he wanted to work things out. And
I told him the only ways if he goes to therapy and tries to figure out what his issues are. And he's
You know
never
what?
done that in his entire life.
And he's doing it now, right?
Yeah.
You are a perfect example of exactly what I tell people all the time, that sometimes you have to let go of somebody so that they can be inspired to do what they need to do, right?
Yeah.
I do see him getting help. Your mother, that's why, see, all your family showed up. That's why they pushed your sons back and said, listen, this is for the grown-ups right now, because they need to let you know that they're going to take care of him. And by you taking care of you, your cup is overflowing. You are feeling better. You're starting to feel, I feel like you're socializing more and you're getting more social relief. I don't know how to explain that. There was a feeling of isolation before, and I don't feel dramatically anymore. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
She's validating as well that this has been good for the kids, because now they're seeing, yeah, they might be seeing dad a little bit more emotional than usual, but that's okay. They need to see that it's okay for men to have emotions, and it's okay for men to work through emotions. And when they see this, then that gives them more respect for dad and helps them understand what he's going through.
Yeah, and that it's okay to do therapy.
Exactly. There's so much good stuff.
Too.
Pardon me?
Oh, my two are actually in therapy too because of our separation. So that's a step that we've never taken as a family because we're so private.
Yeah. There's so many good things coming from this. Please understand. I know that it's interesting. What she's saying is that you didn't expect it to hurt this much. You were just expecting to be free. And yes, you do feel that bit of freedom. That energy has risen. But I think the energy has risen more, not from being free from the situation, but from the relief of him taking care of what he needs to do and of the family doing what they need to do, right?
Yeah.
See, it is literally the literal interpretation of, if you always do what you've always done, you will always get what you've always got. And you guys could not fix this situation by staying in that toxic vibration. You had to change the elements, and by changing the elements, now you can each individually work on what you've got to work on, and then maybe you will be able to meet together again. And I do still feel like that is a possibility, I have to say.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you love him more now than you did before you separated.
Yeah.
Oh, honey. It's going to be okay. You got to start. I want you to start thinking about this as this is happening to give you what you've asked for, right?
Yeah. Like, it's just hard. I don't know.
I know.
I'm trying to teach my girls. I have 4 girls, and that it's not okay for there to be infidelity in your marriage.
Yep.
I need them to know that.
That's absolutely right.
As hard as it is for me, I need to be an example for myself.
Exactly. And as you do that, I got to tell you, it's your mother-in-law. She doesn't like me saying that, but I think it's important to recognize that this is your husband's mother that is thanking you for having the courage to face this challenge with integrity and respect for yourself and your daughters, because when you do that, you force him to he's either going to wake up and do what he needs to do to get the help he needs, or he's going to lose his family. And he's not ready to lose his family.
I realize everything. There's still so much pressure where he wants to just be back together, and I'm like, I can't. I need time and space to just get over it. And
it's not about, see, you're never going to get over it. And let me just help you with this, okay? You will not get over this unless and until you see different behaviors and changes coming out of his world. If he keeps doing the same things that he always did, then you are never going to trust them to make different choices if presented with that same situation again in the future. The only way you're going to believe that, and the only way you're going to feel comfortable, is you guys have to start all over again. You have to date again. You have to allow some time to go by where you're in your house, he's in his, and we take time to see if we can trust again, right? You have to let that romance spark again. And you have to, or not have to, but Okay, slow down. She's interrupting me because every time I'm saying this, your mother-in-law is saying, will. She's trying to make you, or I think what she's trying to emphasize is this is not over yet. And that by you taking steps that you did, that you are teaching him how to treat you and how to treat the kids in your family, and that this benefits not just you and him, but it benefits your children and your grandchildren and their children, because this is generational curses, right? We hand these behaviors down to our children.
Yeah.
By you taking this stand, you are showing them all that it's not to be tolerated, that it's not okay. But you're also giving your husband the ability to heal himself of those old belief systems in his head. If he's believed himself a cheater for so long, it's really easy to cheat if you think you're a cheater, right?
Yeah.
He's got to learn. That's what I'm looking for. He's got to redevelop himself from the ground up and see himself as a trustworthy person. It's going to take time for situations to play out for you to see his loyalty and his trust shining through. But one thing I do know is that if you can trust him, God's going to let you know. If this relationship is meant to be together in a way that will be beneficial for you and him, in a way that you can trust and feel whole, then he will earn your trust back. It is not something that you can just give based on obligation. Does that make sense? And that's where you were getting stuck in the past. You were obliged, so you stayed, and you forgave, and you were obliged, right? You're not obliged anymore.
Well, it wasn't really a cheating because we separated, but I just thought we were working on our relationship, but he just said, no, I'm done. So, but then once he realized it, and I realized our relationship was done, I was going to start dating. And then that's when he's like, whoa, what? You're dating? Like, he expected me to sit there and wait for him.
Yeah. That's exactly what his mom is saying, is thank you for having the courage.
He just stopped everything and was like, no. He's like, I thought I didn't want to be married anymore, and that's not what I wanted.
And that's exactly what I'm saying. Sometimes you have to pull back, and that's what his mom was saying, is thank you for putting him in that position, because you held him accountable. And you didn't say, you're going to go get help, you're going to do this, and you're going to do that. You just said, you know what? You do what you need to do. Peace out. And when you did that, he said, I'm going to get help. I'm going to do what I need to do. And he was inspired to do what he needed to do. You can't tell people what to do. All you can do is protect yourself and your boundaries, and make sure that if anybody is going to come into your life, that they have to meet those boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
He is going to make a bunch more changes. I just see it. I got to tell you, I can't tell you exactly what's going to happen, because it just is so fluid in front of my eyes, the healing that's about to take place in all of your lives. There's some type of an emotional therapy. I don't know what this is. I was looking up some of the new healing technologies last night at 3 a.m. God had me looking this stuff up. And there is some technologies that help to get rid of those early emotional, sexual kind of abuses that some people have been through, right? And there's some therapies and technologies that I think are really going to help him coming up. But I know that when I try to focus on what's coming up in his world, it's so fluid, because you got to understand, and this is something I learned by doing the cards, is that you can ask the tarot cards a question one day and they'll give you an answer. Like, say I do this sometimes, I'll be like, okay, what is, so-and-so thinking today? Somebody I haven't talked to in a while, or somebody I need to know what they're thinking about something or whatever. And I can ask the cards this, and one day it'll show me a certain thing, and the next day it'll show me something totally different. That's because each and every single choice and decision that we make in this world has an effect, and it changes things in our world. And because he's making so many changes, and he's on the fence, off the fence, on the fence, off the fence, things are so fluid in his world, changing. But the one thing that I know for sure, the very clear thing, the first thing that came through from all of this, hon, is that you are better now than you have been in a long time. I feel like you have the ability to think and be clear again. to get yourself. Maybe you will be with him. Maybe you won't be with him. Maybe you just need an atmosphere where you can think clear without being obligated to be in it. Do you understand?
Yeah, even my own kids were like, no, you guys are too toxic for each other right now. You guys both need to be separate.
Yeah.
You guys have been such a pair for so long, Mom. She's like, my kids are like, you guys need to develop your own identities and then see if
your daughter's smart.
You two will. She's like, you guys just need a couple of months to just find out who you are as your own people and what you guys want in life. And she's like, and if you guys are meant to be together, she's like, you'll come back together. And she's like, and I believe that, but I just believe you guys need your own identities because you two are too much of a pair and you've always been together.
Well, it's that, yes. And it's also you let your boundaries slip in many ways. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been separated the first time at all, right? So you've let your boundaries slip over the course of time. And he needed a reminder that I don't care if we've been together 30 years. If you start treating me like this, that's a deal breaker and you will be kaboosh.
Yeah.
So by you giving him this, you give him an opportunity to be the person that you need him to be.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you didn't do this, he would not be the person that you need him to be. It's about maintaining your boundaries. And here's the thing. By maintaining your boundaries, if and when he does come back into your life, he's going to be meeting those boundaries, which means that you will feel more loved and respected than you have felt in a very long time. And that's what it's all about. It's about being loved and happy and respected and in full joy in our lives. Because if we can keep our vibration in those high fields, then we are pulling more of that into our world. And when your cup runneth over, you have so much more to give back to everybody else. This is actually really good things going on in your world right now. Really good things. And if you start to feel lonely, just start talking to your loved ones on the other side and tell them you're feeling lonely and you need some help with this, and they will keep you so busy you won't be able to think straight. That's what happened to me. So I'm telling you to say that prayer with a grain of salt, because I said that prayer and then I had like a couple double bookings right before Christmas and couple 18-hour days, and I was so busy I didn't have time to be lonely.
Yeah.
Point
is, we're
is,
still talking and everything, and that's what's weird about it is because we're still friends and still. I prefer not to see him because it's too hard. I go on these crashes up and down.
Yeah.
I told him, I can't see you. I said, I just need my own time away. I said, I'll talk to you and everything, but at this point, I said, I just can't keep doing this. I just need my own space and time. Yeah.
Just know that his loved ones and your loved ones are very much watching over the both of you, and they very much approve of everything that you're doing, because as painful as it might seem now, it is the recovery process that you're in. And I can't tell you exactly where it leads because there's so many choices and decisions in between that will define where you're headed to here. But I can tell you that the choices and decisions that you are making right now are raising your vibration to a frequency that is going to navigate you towards happiness and joy and navigate you away from pain and challenge. And then your son is playing that song, The Boys Are Back in Town Again. That's so funny. He's like, you're not getting away without me saying, hello, I love you. Just know he's there. He's like, thank you for Christmas. So you guys must have spent Christmas together, though.
No, we never.
What's he saying? Thank you
for Christmas.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, okay. So help me understand this then, because he's showing me Christmas time. You got to understand that.
Celebrated with him, but we never really do it now.
You celebrated when your son was here?
Yeah. And then that's when we just stopped celebrating, really. Just with the COVID and everything, too, we've just been pretty isolated.
He's taking me to Christmas time. You didn't do Christmas with your little ones either?
No.
So what?
Just even with all the turmoil and everything, we're just haven't really done anything or been doing anything.
He's showing me.
I felt really alone, like on Christmas Day, but.
Well, yeah, because you were making your choices and decisions on Christmas Day based on loneliness. So what did you feel? More loneliness.
Yeah.
That's
thought back to all the Christmases we had with them when they were kids, my son and my other daughter.
Oh, there we go. That's where the gratitude comes in. I'm like, why are you grateful for Christmas then? If this is what was going on, as soon as you said that, I understood, because you spent the whole day thinking of him and Christmas is gone past. And you got to understand that if you allow yourself to do that, then you're missing out on an incredible day. You spent that day focusing on your pain instead of focusing on your family that you have now, instead of focusing on the joy that you have now. We all have a choice, hon. We all have a choice. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. It's about learning to vibrate in the higher realms and learning to choose joy instead of pain. It's not too late. Do Christmas on New Year's. I don't care when you do it. Do it in the middle of freaking summer for all I care. But the important thing is to spend a day of celebration. I don't care if you're Christian or whatever. If you don't want to call it Christmas, whatever you want to call it, spend a day of celebration with your children where you just love them up and you cook a beautiful meal for them and you spend that time together. Because I promise you, the joy and the happiness that comes out of that is going to make you feel so much better than the pain that comes from denying yourself those celebrations. Interesting. He goes, it's not about the money, Mom. Did you hear anything about presents in there? So he said, it's not about the money. It's just about us celebrating that we are still a family. We are still together. He's like, I am still here and we used to do Christmas. Let's do it. That's what I'm feeling. He's like, it's not too late.
Yeah, well, my eldest daughter did all the gifts and everything. So that was nice.
He's like, it's not Mom's cooking. Because I saw your son go, but it's not dinner. Tell Mom, he's still insisting. And it's about raising your vibration, hon, and teaching you to focus on where you want to go. You've been in that negative vibration for so long. It's become your normal. And you just have to get out of that comfort zone of being normal in despair. That has to become a feeling of a foreign feeling to you. And joy and happiness has to be your new normal. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You got this. You can do this.
It's a new year, yeah.
It's a new year. That's right. You're going to have a big dinner, celebrate it, get all your kids together. Let them know that this new year is going to be filled with so much good stuff. Put all your focus. Remember, everything is vibrational. What you think is vibrational. What you speak is vibrational. Put it out there and let it come back to you. Let this be the best year of your life. But it's kind of like when you're dating, the guy of your dreams isn't going to just knock on your door and be like, here I am. The best year of your life is not going to just come up and knock on the door and be like, here you go, best year ever at your disposal. You have to tune into that frequency and go forward in the frequency of joy and happiness to make it the best year ever. You got a good start though, because you're starting to clear out some of those energies. But if I could do one thing now, I'm turning you around and kicking you in the butt. So's your mother-in-law. She's like, you do a dinner, you do a celebration of some sort. I don't care what you do. Something that gets your family together and allows you to feel loved and supported. You can't blame yourself for feeling disconnected and lonely if you are making choices and decisions that are causing you disconnection and loneliness, right?
Yeah.
Oh, they love you so much. Your son's like, okay, hold on. You must have moved houses or something too, because he's pulling his energy back. I know the last time we talked, you guys were still living together, but I don't think that's the case here, because as he's pulling his energy back, he's like, showing me, I'm glad you like it, but we can do better if you want to move. I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
So
no, we've just separated. And
you just took what you could get for now, or he did. I don't know what this is. Was it him that left or you?
No, I left.
That's what I thought, because of the way he's saying that. Huh?
Yeah, he stayed in the house and I just left.
And the apartment that you're in is not exactly the one where you want to be. It's not your favorite place, hey?
No,
Hmm.
it's actually good. It's the first time I've actually had a good one. I mean,
Yeah.
means.
He's like
But
talking
no, I
about
don't like my husband's house at all. I even feel he needs to move out of there.
that would
That's
be
what, yeah, that's what I get.
because he's showing me
That's
you
the only
didn't like
place
where you were, that negative
Yeah, and
vibration, and then guiding you
yeah,
to the
yeah.
one that you like.
Yes, yeah. I didn't like our house at all. And I feel like that's what's keeping my husband in the negativity is that house. Even though he feels it comforts him because that's where our son was last.
Yeah.
But there's just too many bad memories in it.
That's why your son's bringing that up the way he did. I didn't know why he did it that way, but that's why he said it that way, because he guided you to this new house, which is his way of saying, hey, Dad, I go where you go. So just know wherever mom goes, I go. Did this just out of my own curiosity? Because whenever spirit does something, they usually do it bigger or easier than we could have ever expected. Did you get this place really easy or really cheap, or did it just land in your lap?
Well, I was having a hard time finding a place that I was shocked that I got it.
That's your son.
Yeah, because usually when I go and look, you meet them and they're like, okay, we'll let you know. We're showing it to a couple other people. Then that means the other people, even though they're showing it, they're not going to choose you. But the gentleman was like, I'm still showing it to a few people today, but I'll let you know. And then I contacted them again and said, did you guys choose someone? And his wife was like, oh, well, we're still talking about it, but we will let you know. And then she came back and said, oh, my husband said he liked you the best out of everybody. And
that's your son.
Never happens.
That's your son. Anything can happen. I want you to wrap your mind around this. Anything can happen. You put it out there and just do exactly what you did there. You didn't just put it out there and go, oh, well, it's not going to happen. If you had done that, it wouldn't have happened. You put it out there.
I was actually going to move I was going to move to Toronto. I felt like, yeah, and then I was like, that's what I told my kids, and I'm like, well, I said, I think I'm just going to move to Toronto. I said, I think it would be easier. I can't find anywhere. I said, so that's my first choice, just to let you guys know, if I don't get this house, I'm moving to Toronto.
And your son's like, and you wonder why you got the house.
Yeah, and then I was like, what?
See, he's very much still involved in your world. And that's a message to Dad, too, that his spirit, you guys go. And this too shall pass. Just know your loved ones are all there, and hope and try to keep yourself focused on where you're going, and don't make decisions based on pain.
Okay.
Because it brings.
It always helps. I haven't spoken to you in such a while that I didn't really needed this, and I appreciate it so much, Tracy.
No worries. Deep breaths. There's good things coming. Your vibration is getting much lighter than it was, and the first step, right?
Yeah.
Look forward to talking to you again next time and seeing how much lighter it is once you start focusing on where you're going, and after you've had a little celebration with your family.
Yeah. All righty. Well, I appreciate it, the call.
All right, hon. Have a great rest of your day.
You too.
Okay, bye-bye. Okay, so before I have one more call to make. I know I'm being very long-winded today, but as you can tell, I've been off for a week, and Spirit is just like da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So I'm sorry. Okay, so last week, one of my members had asked me to pull a card for her. So, Ambi, I'm not sure if you're watching, but here we go. Oh, interesting. This card is already turned up. Let me fix this. I can find where did it go? Maybe I'm wrong. I could have swore I just saw a card turned up. I did. All right. Ambi. Spirit, what is the answer that you have for Ambi? What answer do you have for Ambi? That is creepy. Okay. You guys just heard me say there's already a card that's flipped over here and try to find it, right? This is the card. I put it back in, shuffled the deck, and it again. So when Spirit wants to say, when they have a message, Doesn't matter. There's 78 cards in that deck. This is the one they wanted. The Ace of Cups. I know these are my gold cards. It's kind of hard to see. The Ace of Cups indicate love, the beginnings. Your cup overfloweth. Literally, your cup overfloweth. Let me see what the God book has to say. But I mean, that literally, I don't know how to get any more clearer than that. It's the beginning of love or emotion, self-love, giving love, forgiveness to others, loving yourself, forgiving and being open with your emotions. I don't know what your question was, Ambi, but that is a really clear yes. Self-love, love, whatever your question was, it's going to produce a lot of love for yourself and everyone around you. So that's interesting. Okay. So next we are going to, and just so you guys, I forgot to tell you guys this after or before we started. When I'm done with the live readings, I'm going to quickly go through. I only for like and shares because 7 people on my list for like and shares because Facebook kept pulling down my stuff, and because long story, I only have like 6 of you. It's just been really hard to get them before Facebook does their evil ways with them. But anyway, so here we go. So as soon as I'm done this last call, I'm going to go right into those, and then we'll be done our live. So here we go. Jenny, I'm finally coming to you. I love your phone number. Lots of 8s. An 8 symbol, the infinity, money of the universe. Love it.
Hello?
Hi, is this Jenny?
It sure is.
Hi, Jenny. It's Tracy calling.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
I'm a little long-winded today, so sorry for the late call.
I'm enjoying it. It's good.
Awesome. Okay. All right, then. This lady's like, let's go. You made me wait. I don't know who she is. Okay. Hold on. I'm making a fool of myself in my ear. Okay. All right. Are you ready to do this?
I am.
So please know that you are kind of one of my newer members, and I don't remember who your loved ones are. So we are kind of starting all over again. Okay.
That's perfect.
Okay. So, they're so strong. I'm trying to push them aside for a minute. So what I want you to do is sit with both feet flat on the floor for me. And then I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to take a deep breath, picturing that deep breath starting at your big toe, slowly pulling it all the way up through your body, and then blow it straight through the phone at me and give me a minute to focus. Oh, so much love, I have to tell you. The first thing I'm very aware of. So you've heard my term, the puzzle dump, before?
Yes.
Okay, so the first thing that I'm very aware of, there's a huge dump going on. So I'm very aware that there's a lot of love being offered. There's somebody to the side. I think this is a gentleman. So that could be either sibling, spouse, something like that, cousin, friend, something like that to the side, contemporary. There's a mother figure that is stepping forward with a huge amount of what I call grandma gush, which is just like, I love you, I love you, I love you, like that kind of nurturing. But I don't know if this is grandma because I feel like on the other side, but I almost wonder if this is your mom, because is your mom on the other side, hun?
No, she's not.
Okay, interesting. The lady that is stepping forward, I don't think is grandma. She's underneath grandma. She didn't like it when I called her grandma. I'm not sure who this is. Hold on a second.
My husband's mom?
Oh yeah. Okay. Does she have like a boisterous personality as well?
Sure, yep.
Because I got to tell you, when I said it's not grandma, because I can see both grandmas back there, and it feels like a mother figure, but she's also taking me to the side, right? That would very much indicate mother or or it could be mother-in-law. But when I say grandma, she did not like that. Let me tell you, she was like, I'm not grandmother. I feel like she's like jokingly pissed that I called her older than she was because she's showing me how beautiful she is on the other side. She goes, please let her know I'm beautiful over here. I'm so beautiful. So her appearance and grooming was very important to her. Does that make sense with her personality?
Yeah, it does.
And then she goes, and to the end of her world, she wasn't able to do those kinds of things for herself as much. And I feel a lot of gratitude, which is interesting. So did she need a lot more care? Okay, so she's going really fast. Like I said, she's got this bulldozing kind of personality here, but she's making me feel like everybody came together and cared for me so well. And please just know that I'm beautiful again on this side.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like she's emphasizing that people knew how much it meant to her to be groomed and looking put together. And so everybody tried to help her do that, even when she was incapable of doing it herself. Okay, so now I do this, and there's a gentleman here that is like, he's just calmly clearing his throat. I hear Daddy's hands, but I'm getting to the side again. I'm not sure how to explain that. Do you have a spouse on the other side, hon?
No, I don't. No.
So that's that. To the side is the mother figure, but then the father figure, I don't know how to understand this. Hold on a second. Okay, so what I see is two people coming forward holding hands. That's my symbol for two people that were married or together here in the physical world. They're going above you. I'm guessing this is grandparents, and they have the gentleman underneath of them. I'm not sure if they're actually talking about somebody that's dead or somebody that is still alive. I'm fairly certain they're talking about your dad because they're putting around his shoulders, which is my symbol for watching over somebody who has health or stress issues. And I can feel trying to some distortion of the energy as I try to connect to this message. So that can be grief or anxiety. And I'm not sure if this is grief or anxiety because Dad's having some health or stress issues now, or if this is the grief and anxiety around his passing. Do you understand what they're talking about?
Probably around passing. He's been gone now for almost 22 years, my dad. And it was very sudden.
And it still makes you cry. When you said that, I heard in my ear, and she still cries today the same as she did when it first happened.
Yeah.
No, honey. Your dad is like, he's so funny. His energy is so funny. He's like literally showing me a clown. Like he's trying to cheer you up. I've never had them show me clowns before. Do you have a connection with clowns? Do you understand what that means?
Not really. I have one kind of on a stick with a nice big smile on it that I kind of like. But...
What? Is that like a decoration in your house?
Yeah, I bought it and I just actually was playing with it yesterday and sitting it up on a shelf.
See, and this is an example of what spirit does. They don't like to predict things coming up in your world. What they try to do is to prove to you that they're in your world now. They see what's going on in your world. That's a very specific validation, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what the heck. Why is he showing me a clown? I mean, I've been doing live readings for a long time, and I don't think I've ever said clown before. It's their way of proving that he's with you at this exact moment in spirit form.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
He's loving. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, he's like, woohoo! I smell cigarette smoke or pipe smoke or something like this. It feels like in celebration. That's interesting. Did your dad smoke?
Yeah, not every day. He was a weekend smoker.
See, that's why I feel I celebration, but I guess that would be my way of saying part-time kind of smoker. Like we only do it for special occasions or special events or something like that. I'm not feeling a hardcore smoker on the other side. But he is smoking something.
No problem.
And then he's showing me the baby. Slow this down. I'm seeing a few babies born into the family recently. Is somebody named after your dad?
Yeah, my nephew.
Because he's pointing from himself to the child and talking about, say thank you for that. I know about that too.
Okay.
He's watching over mom. Your mom's still here in the physical world, correct?
Yeah.
Is she a distance or a space away from you? Okay, so hold on before you answer that. He shows me distance or space. He puts the heart around the two of you, and then I see him pushing you closer together. So now the distance or space is an indication that maybe she was a distance away, either emotionally or physically. The heart is my symbol for healing and then pushing together. So I don't know what that means.
Mom lives a couple hours away, and we're close, I think.
The healing that comes from that, I think we've got to, so it's interesting because you said, yep, she's a distance or space away, and we are very close. However, hold on a second. I don't think you quite realize what an impact that you have on your mom, hey? I don't think you quite realize that connection that he's feeling so much gratitude for the way that you have that connection with mom on the other side. And the way he's making me feel is that it's literally giving her life and making her feel useful. Ooh, there's the key word. So when you say she's a couple of hours away, I don't know how to explain that, but I feel like you give her reason to be useful. Does that make sense?
And you know what? I think it's the opposite way around, but
it could be, because sometimes the message for me is like looking in a mirror, right? So this is why I tell people they're talking to you, not me. And I might mix up the way the puzzle pieces go, but the puzzle pieces don't change.
Right. Yeah.
Because he's showing me that this connection has so much peace. It gives him peace on the other side. It gives the healing that comes from this connection is extraordinary.
Oh, cool. That's great.
And no, it's interesting. So when you said, I think it's the other way around, he's like, yeah, you're very aware of how much love and peace and value mom brings into your world, but maybe you're not quite aware of how much love and peace and value that you bring into hers. And if you're not aware of that, then you're going to worry about her, right? And if you worry about her, then what are you doing? You're thinking and feeling negative, worrisome thoughts and emotions. And if you're thinking and feeling negative, worrisome thoughts and emotions, what is going on? You're creating it, right?
Yeah.
So this is why your dad is reminding you that the value that you feel, the peace that you feel from this relationship with mom, she feels it too. And I think you need to know that it makes her feel useful when you call her and say, Mom, how do I do this? Or how do I do that? And how do I do this? Don't think that you are bothering her, because it gives her reason to be alive. She's still needed.
Yes.
And he's thanking you for that. He also wants to thank you guys for how he was laid to rest. I feel relief. Did you guys bury him?
No, actually, he's in my mom's living room still.
Okay, so he's cremated. Interesting.
Yes.
He just feel that it makes me feel, or this is why I'm laughing, is because he made me feel so much relief when he said, thank you for how you laid me to rest. I thought he had buried him because of the relief that I felt, because I don't want to be cremated, right? So I just assumed maybe that meant he was buried. But when you say he was in mom's living room, he's like, exactly. That's the only place I want to be. And I feel like when mom goes, you guys are going to put them together.
Yep.
That's the plan, right?
Yeah.
And he knows that, because there's no way I could know that. He knows that. He loves you so much. Your mom-in-law is shouting over here, so do I! And then she kissed your cheek and said, happy birthday, beautiful. So is your birthday coming up or just passed?
Not till June.
No, this is very specific. Happy birthday, beautiful. Happy birthday, beautiful. Hold on a second. what does that mean? So I just asked her, I'm like, well, it's not her birthday. What does that mean? And she goes, well, that just means that I'm working on the gift that she asked for her birthday. Are you going somewhere, or there's a trip that you wanted to take around then?
No.
She's showing me trip. They're packing the suitcase. They're showing me you're going over here. Happy birthday. We're already working on it. You deserve this. Some type of vacation, some type of travel, but it's not wherever you live. It is a distance away.
Oh, well, maybe. I've got lots of family in the distance away, so.
Interesting. Well, I feel like I feel like they're validating because your dad is like laughing at you. Where the way he's showing me this is that like, sometimes when I'm passing these messages on to people, they don't immediately think of what the dead are talking about because I don't say it right or whatever. But he's making me feel like you should know exactly what he's talking about. That there is something that has either been spoken about or tossed around, a possibility of that he's trying. I should stop saying they, because your mother-in-law is very much here, are trying to confirm that this will happen.
Oh, well, you never know. We're always dreaming about what we'd like to do or whatever when we want to do it. So, yeah, I'd love to go to Halifax, and I'd like to go to Ontario to see my cousins and aunts and uncles.
Aw, and she kissed your cheek again and said, like I said, happy birthday, beautiful. Because she said, if you keep thinking about that and talking about it, and ask her to help line you up with what you need to get you there, that it will happen. And they're kind of setting this up in your world because the dead don't like being dead. And they want you to ask them for help so that you know they're still here, so that you can see the cooperative incidences that is their language, letting you know that they're still in your life, helping you get to where you need to go.
Okay.
She's so thankful for the way that you're caring for your husband. And just so you know, I do see the white blanket going around his shoulders. He's still here, correct?
My husband?
Yes.
Yes.
Because she's putting the white blanket around his shoulders, which is my symbol for watching over somebody who has health or stress issues. But again, she's making me feel like, well, she says, if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. And I feel like he's trying to change out of an old pattern into a new pattern. Do you know what she's talking about?
Yes, he is. Yeah, he is trying to change.
She said that, this is because of the love that you've given him in his life. And she's just so grateful. She's showing me that on that side, she can see the whole picture. And she said that it gives her peace to know that you are in his world, taking care of him the way that you are and challenging him. She said, and challenging him to be more than he thought he could be.
Yeah.
She loves you for that.
Yeah, she was a great lady.
She said, what do you mean was?
Yeah, I think we have a connection. It seems a little bit funny, but even though it's not, but she had some health issues and ended up in the hospital. And when she was out, it happened to be that both had to take in a stool sample to the hospital at the same time. So I called her up in the morning and I said, hey, Mom, have you got your shit ready? I'm ready I'll be in town in about a half an hour. So anyways, when I went into town, I knocked on the door and nobody answered. And right then my heart dropped and I found her on the couch.
Oh, honey.
Yeah, it was so unexpected. I can't believe this is a long time ago. But anyways, she was just laying there peacefully with her remote control beside her.
She wanted it that way. She's great.
I think so.
Yeah, she's grateful that it was you that found her. And when you explain that story, that explains to me, that validates for me this personality that is coming through loud and clear. When you were telling that story, she's like, oh, here we go. You have to tell the shit story, do ya? She's like, and then you wonder why I had to go. Tracy, they're examining my shit. You wonder why I don't want to be here no more. She's just got such a sense of humor on that side. She's not showing me any illness whatsoever, like none. And when you say, actually, when I say that, what she showed me was taking the body off, like unzipping it and taking it off like a wet bathing suit and throwing it on the floor. Like, I'm done with that thing.
Oh, wow.
But she's so not gone, hon. They're still with you. And they want to guide you towards where you want to go instead of being stuck in the muck. And she's saying it's time this year. She wants you to focus on getting yourselves to go see your family and focus on how to get there. Ask her for help because she plans on taking you there for your birthday. That's a birthday present she wants to bring in your lap, or in your world. So in your lap, it's probably going to fall in your lap. So just get focused on that going forward and watch the magic happen. Because when Spirit says they're going to do something, they do it bigger and better than we could even imagine.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, they love you so much. They're pulling their energy back, hon.
Okay, well, thank you so much for your time today, and Happy New Year.
You're welcome. Happy New Year to you too.
Thank you so much.
Have a great day, Jenny.
Appreciate it. Yes,
Okay.
you too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, okay. Okay. So that's all my callers for today. So now I'm going to go into, I have another list here. Like I said, there's not a lot of people on my list because I haven't had access to everything. So I want to remind you guys, if you guys are liking and sharing this, wait until it gets posted on my Facebook page. They think they can stop me from posting. Knock on wood. Not yet. I've found a back door. So when this video is done processing on YouTube and stuff, then I will post it onto the Facebook page. When I've posted it onto my Facebook page, then comment, like, and shared in the video. Share it as much as you possibly can, and I will pull a card for you. So the names that I have already, I already did Ambi. So next we have Wendy. Wendy Dobos, I should say. Wendy Dobos. So Spirit, what answer, clarity, wisdom, or insight can you give to Wendy's question? What answer, clarity, wisdom, or insight? Do you see this? These two cards. Oh, Wendy. So, Wendy, you're one of my new members, and I do know a little bit about the tragedy that you've had recently. That's expressed very vividly in this card, which is the Ten of Swords, which is this is as down as you can get, basically. If you see this card, he's like got 10 swords in the back here. To me, that is like that's a good and a bad sign at the same time. Yes, it does show that you're in an enormous amount of pain, but it also shows that if that's the lowest you can go, then you have nowhere to go but up, right? So yeah, the 10, feeling or being stabbed in the back, hurt, beaten up, exhausted, end of a difficult time, obsessing about previous hurts, betrayal, failure at the end of a journey, over dramatic, making things worse than they are, difficult experience coming to an end. See, that's where I really want to, this is why I read from this book, because sometimes when I read from it, certain phrases just jump right out at me like that. And I know that you have suffered a lot of death in your world recently, and I think that you're just having, that card just shows that you're having some trouble maybe processing those emotions from that and letting go of that. The next card that comes up, yeah, that's exactly, I think, what we're talking about is how to get over the grief, because the next card that comes up is the Judgment card reversed, which is showing that lack of clarity on how to proceed, resisting a call to change, resisting resistance to the inevitable. So you know you need to make these changes in either, I don't want to say in either, especially up here in the way that you are perceiving the situation around you. And when you can stop focusing on the pain and focus on where you want to go, it's going to get better. This is a good indication. See, the thing that I like about this is that, yeah, you might feel like you're stuck and you just don't know how to get unstuck from here. But this is a fake card, hun. So God's got your back here, and he's going to send you what he needs, whatever he's got to do to break that vibration, whether he has to make you madder than you've ever been, send you something that is going to pop that vibration to a joy level. Something has to break that pain vibration. And if you don't choose to focus on something that you can think of as joyful, that you can start to raise your vibration with, God will send you something that will break that vibration. And now that doesn't always mean that he's going to send you something really, really happy. Because if you're in that state of challenge, stress, or sadness, then you're not going to feel then that joy. Trying to send somebody joy is they're not going to feel it. They can't connect. It's does not compute. You're not even in the same vibrational wavelength. So sometimes if you're really stuck like that, they got to piss you off, because when you get angry and you go, "Blah!" you explode all that energy and you get it out, which once you get it out, now we have room to fill it up with something that feels better. So I don't know what your question was, hon, but let go of the pain, focus on the joy moving forward, and you'll feel a lot better. Things will go a lot better. Okay, Charlene Valvasori Johnson. Charlene Valvasori Johnson. All right. Spirit, what answers, clarity, and insight can you give to Charlene's question? Answers. Woo. Popped right out. Interesting. This is an offer coming in, but maybe not one that you're going to be extremely happy about. If you can see, the Four of Cups there's 3 cups on the ground and one being offered here. This hand it's hard to see with these gold ones, but there's an offer being made and you're not so sure if you want this offer. Here we go. Unwilling to accept offer, choosing not to engage, choosing to be stuck and see your cup as half empty instead of half full. Accept that you're stuck. So I don't know what your question was, but I feel like whatever your question was, this is telling you that unless you have a dramatic change of perception or attitude to whatever is going on, whatever this life situation has been, you're going to remain stuck. You got to, sometimes my library of information, my past experiences can be kind of crude. And the phrase that's coming through is shit or get off the pot. Excuse me, sorry for that. But that's what's coming through in my head, is that it's about learning to make a decision, because I feel like there's things being offered, but it doesn't match the vibration on where you want to go to. So stop being bored, start focusing on where you want to go and start moving in that direction. Interesting. I don't know what your question was, but this is where I say ask yes or no questions, because that to me is a no, you're not ready, not the right time, something like that. You've got to change your perception before you're ready to accept the offer. Okay. Elaine Recknagel. Oh, and Elaine gave me the question, so I should be able to interpret it a little bit easier for you. Should she repair her car or get a new one? Let's see. Spirit. They just told me shuffle the things. Elaine, you have some very loud spirit, let me just say. Did I say your name right? Yes. All right. Spirit, should Elaine fix her car? Should she fix her car? Spirit, should Elaine? Is it worth fixing? Well, the card that comes up is the Ten of Cups, happiness, home, help. I got to tell you what I feel from that is that you're going to have a lot of help come in, a lot of people that will help with this. Hold on a second. Let me see what our God book says. Happiness, happy home and relationships, completion, joy, celebration, marriage or birth or engagement. Great satisfaction from home, family, friends, and relationships. So let me tell you, I don't even have to read the rest. This tells me that you're going to find good relationships, good peace, help, value from turning to your loved ones around you. Somebody in your world has offered to help you. I think you should go for that. Maybe your car broke down to help put you in contact with somebody that can make you feel loved up. Sometimes we have to be vulnerable in order for somebody to come into our world and step up and offer us something, right? If we're never vulnerable, then nobody can come in. Nobody has anything to offer us, right? Vulnerability can be extremely, an extremely valuable thing. So your car breaking down, from what your cards were showing me, I would say, yes, get it repaired, because the people that you're going to meet along the way are going to make you feel loved up and are going to make you feel supported. And I do just want to say that they're probably got a deal in there somewhere. Because, and just so you know, I just want to throw this out there. Because we didn't do a big spread. We just pulled one card, and all it shows is the final outcome is joy, happiness, connection, family, right? So if the car is not fixable, then, and you have to get a new one, whatever this card is saying is that the ultimate outcome is joy, happiness, connection. I would say get it fixed because that was your question. But maybe, see, this is where it gets tricky. Spirit gets tricky, right? Maybe they want you to go get it fixed because, or try to get it fixed, because then the mechanic's going to tell you it's dead, and then you'll believe him and you'll go get a new one. Who knows? I don't know. They are saying, yes, that going down that path is going to lead towards love, happiness, connection, and value. So I hope that was helpful. Okay. Winnie Downey. Winnie. All right, Spirit, what is the answer to Winnie's question? What is the answer? And I got two falling out. Well, that's interesting. Not hard to read, but interesting. You had two cards that came up. Let's see if we can do this on either side of my face. This card, we have the Hermit. This indicates taking a step back, a spiritual advisor, or an advisor of any kind for that matter. Wisdom, insight, introspection, wait. This is a patience card. This is very much a take your time, have patience, go inward card. And the Five of Swords is your defeat card. It's the card of feeling defeated. They just said, look in the book. So I guess they something wants to jump out at me here. But it literally is a card of feeling or being defeated. Hold on a second here. Five of Swords. Failure, defeat, loss, losing a battle, or no win situation. Illuminate people. Turning backs on you. Abandoned or let down by people or organization you trusted. Oh, see this? I get it now. I don't know what your question was, but I do know that I'm not going to say what your profession is, but I do know your profession. And that explains the Hermit card, right? That explains why you feel defeated and why you feel lied to, I guess, and that you need to go inward and find some wisdom and just know that the answers will be there. They'll give you the answers. You're a good person in a career that has been upside down and inside out for a long time. And when you and I talked a while ago, you had some really amazing ideas that this world needs. So just know that as long as you connect with those ideas and you ask God for help and you ask your loved ones for help, He will bring you there. He will bring you to what you're asking for. You will be one of the new heroes in the new world, because for every single corrupt player that gets taken out of the old world, there's a faithful, loyal, and trusted, proven, and like I said, loyal person in the new world that God will bring forward to replace all those positions. All right, so my last but not least is Marilyn Thiel. Marilyn Thiel. Oh, there we go. One of my cards all backwards here. They said they want me to shuffle them for you, Marilyn. All right. I don't know what your question was, but here we go. Spirit, what answers, clarity, wisdom can you give Marilyn? Well, it fell right out onto my lap. Unfortunately, this would be like literally a no card. Let me see what this book has to say before I go say anything. Well, it could be a no, but I just feel not right now card. I got to be honest. Lack, losing what you have, careless or recklessness, greedy, selfish, or perceiving the world as lacking, holding on too tightly, feeling what you have to offer is not enough. Okay, so that's why I felt it that way. It's not a no, it's a you can't get there from this line of thinking. Whatever your question was about is absolutely that's possible, but you've got some stinky thinking going on. Stinky thinky. That's what I call it to my kids. We got some stinky thinky going on here. And that just means change your perception, change the way that you're thinking about this, and propel yourself in the direction that you want to go. Our minds are the steering wheel for our life. Whatever direction you point your consciousness in is the direction you are moving yourself forward in. Make sure, you guys, that you're moving yourself forward in love and happiness and joy. It's a new year. It's going to be an incredible new year, you guys. Turn off the programs, look for the truth, ask God to guide you, and welcome to this incredible new world. Look into those UV light therapies that I was telling you about in the beginning as well. They will blow your mind, and they will help you start getting excited for the world that our children and our grandchildren are going to grow up in. Because I promise you, they're not going to grow up seeing kids' faces on milk cartons anymore. They're not going to grow up hearing and watching commercials of the starving babies in other countries in the world and watching wars going all over the world. That is not the world that our children are going to grow up in. And it makes me emotional to know that in a good way, you guys. So once you know the truth, there is no room for fear. There's only room for trust. You can't have fear and faith at the same time. I know this much. I trust God with all my heart and soul. I've put my entire life into His hands, and He's never let me down yet. He's taken me through some pretty rocky roads, I'll tell you that. But the wisdom that I learned from it has only helped me. And I got through every single one in one piece. So all of you, please take some deep breaths. Remind yourself that this is not a scary thing that is going on in the world. It is an amazing thing. God has been talking about this for 2,000 years. The Bible is more like a book of prophecies, I would say, especially the Revelations part. And if once you start understanding what everything's talking about, this is such an exciting time to be alive. I wish you guys all the best. If you have liked and shared this video and it is in the comments here, I will write it down. And then on next Tuesday, I will be live an hour before. I'll be live at 10 a.m. instead of 12 p.m. and we will do the tarot readings then. And then I will be back on again at 12 for my members readings. And I will be back this Saturday for members readings as well. All right, you guys, have a great rest of your week. And I'll talk to you soon. Happy New Year, everyone. Bye.